Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today we're going to look at the 279E and the Sturm VK 36, the two reward tanks for the seasonal games. First, I want to compare it to the IS4. You guys, well maybe not you guys, but some people want an upgrade to the IS4, and I'm pretty sure this is it. Looking at the motors, the 279 has a little bit horsepower to ton over the IS4. Does have 3 kilometers less per hour top speed, but moved on to the gun. A little slower reload with 12.6. Aim time's a little bit faster. The accuracy is on point. The accuracy on the move and rotating the turret is better than the IS4. But it does have 1 less degree of gun depression. Moving into the tracks, which there are 4 of them. You see the ground resistances are close to on point. The rotation speed of the turret is a little bit faster in the 279. The radios are the same, and then when it comes to ammunition, they're exactly the same. So the velocity is a little bit slow, but it does use the Soviet heat round, so that helps. Looking at the armor profiles, obviously the turrets are strong frontally. The hulls are pretty strong. Main difference: IS4 has a lower plate that's a weak point, and it has a glaring forehead weak point, and the 279 has neither of those with the 4-track suspension and just like the round turret. So IS4 has pretty much, it was already power crept. I still enjoyed playing it, but now there's really no point in playing it with the 279E, which is now like a upgraded IS4. I think they could do something with IS4, like maybe add some features to it, like laying down some tracks on the shoulder plates, obviously covering up that forehead, even maybe giving it a cool heat shield. I don't know, just some options. The IS4 never gets played anymore. And with this thing in the game, it should never be played again until it's buffed. So, alright, moving into some gameplay. 279E. We're going to do this a little bit differently. I don't always show gameplay in these stat reviews or stat comparisons, but I'm going to here. It's my first and only game that I've played in so far. I pretty much played this game, played a game in the VK 36, and then I started putting this video together. Just throw a blind shot down there just in case somebody comes around the corner and I happen to land that miracle shot. Looking at the reload, I do have one of my best drivers in this tank, so it's about as good as it gets driver wise in here. He's pretty much got all the heavy perks. He's in my IS7. So we got a tank and a 279E. We get a critical hit. We pretty much just aimed for the tracks. Now there are parts of the tank in between the track. I don't know what you'd call them, like what the drive wheels are connected to. You can see them in between left outside and left middle track, as well as the right outside and the right middle track there. And I'm not sure if they're a hitbox. I was looking at the armor model, and it looks like they have a hit or an armor profile on them. So I'm wondering if you over angle, you can maybe punch through the drive wheel and still damage this thing. And I was trying to get shots in there. There I thought I shot, or I aimed in between them, and I hit his track and didn't pen. So the jury's still out on that. I really didn't figure out if that was. I figured out one of my buddies and I would get together in a room and just kind of see if that actually is pennable where you can damage it. Now on PC, a lot of people just shoot HE at these things. To me, I feel like you need to just load the gold and shoot them up in the top shoulders. It's a lot like a 277's upper plate. So if they're perfectly straight at you, they don't have the lower plate to shoot at. Yeah, when it comes to shooting these things, I'm not 100% sure on where to shoot them. That's why I didn't go into too much detail on that in my armor profiler. Alright, so E4. Now you can see if you... I didn't really talk about it while it was in action, but the penetration on this thing is pretty lacking. But once we put in the heat, we haven't had any trouble getting into that E4. Now we spin around, we avoid 3 guns. Now this 279 probably can shoot me. Get a shot into his upper plate there. We have the heat rounds in, and that's really how I'm going to deal with these tanks. And now I'm trying to get the upper shoulder and that shot down to the right, which is more armor and more sloped. But my biggest target right now is this Death Star, so we're going to try to take him out. Unfortunately, the 279E takes me out. But we end up with 3,000 blocked, 3,000 damage. And, I mean, we were kind of on a short-handed flank. Our team won the map and got over to help us in time. So, good movement. This thing moves well. It handles pretty decently. Armor, I mean, once people get used to it, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. But good players are going to make it a great tank, and that's what they do in any tank, really. So, to say that a tank is OP, I don't know. If you put a beginner or newer player, if that's their first tier 10 that they ever get, they are probably going to struggle in it and wonder why they get penned all the time, much like I did when I got my E100. But then once you get better at the game and you start to learn armor and angling and you play the tank for a long time and get better at it, then you start to develop some skills in there. So I mean, these tanks dispatch their 279s pretty well. There's just a lot of angles on the tank, which is going to make it kind of troll. And that's what we're used to on Soviet tanks anyways. So to me, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be like crazy OP like everyone thinks. Maybe that's just me being optimistic. So we take top damage dealer on the team. We do take 5th place. Their 3 279s took 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Well, they did have a 4th one as well. So there's definitely a lot of potential in that tank, but I'm going to miss my IS-4, that's for sure. Alright, so we're going to jump right into gameplay for the VK, the Sturm VK 3601. Now this is like a 3601 tech tree tank with spaced armor on it, and it's got a 10.5 centimeter gun. So it's kind of got a derpy gun. And the HE shells didn't look that impressive, but I'll be honest, I don't know. Like, my stat knowledge for lower tier tanks is kind of subpar. And I didn't really get to try the dirt or the HE shells on here, but the pen on the HE shells don't seem that powerful, which is good because we don't need more dirt tanks, to be honest. Alright, so we're going to move up. This is my favorite heavy choke in the game, just because of the angles, the crossfire. It's just like a chessboard down here, and it's fun to watch the different ways that this plays out. Now, I know that my frontal armor is pretty decent, plus I have extra spaced armor on the front of it. Now, does that mean I'm going to reliably bounce T29 shells? No, but I kind of want to push this thing and see what it's all about. And that's in this and my 279E. I didn't want to play super aggressive to where I just throw the tank in the garbage and the replay is crap, but that's nice pen. 400 roll on that thing. This gun is sweet. Alright, the T29's hull down. I don't really want to deal with that. So we're going to fall back a little bit and try to open up an angle on the right side of this pile, and never mind, I changed my mind because the T29 pushed out. Alright, so we get a lower plate shot, 358. This is a tier 6, dropping like 350 to 400 damage shots. Obviously, a little gun depression issue there. I'm going to try to shoot through the drive wheel. No, can't do that. Not enough pen for that. Probably should have just shot the machine gun turret there. Or machine gun port, not turret. We back up, get a nice shot into the M6. And this thing can take quick chunks off people, so these are going to be a little annoying tanks at low tier. MT25 starts to flank me. Gunner's dead, so we put the gunner back in, and this is where the turret traverse is not that great. Obviously, with all the added armor. I thought I was aimed on there, but I was a little behind him yet. And the red team takes me out. Green team is not doing so well. There was a dreadnought that was on his way to help me, or I guess I wasn't paying attention to the map. I don't know what he was doing. Probably guarding the green circle, because that's what you gotta do in your heavy tanks. I pushed too far in my heavy tank. I'll learn from it and get better. Stay closer to that green circle. Now I'm trying to ping the map to get people's attention. Their MT-25 flanks our dreadnought, takes him out. Now the red team, if they're smart, would just get on our cap and cap it, right? Except we only have 4 tanks, so they're like, wow, we got this in the bag. Let's win it. So then I switch to M6, and I'm like, dude, turn around. You need to help your Excalibur there. T-25-2, which I know there is a actual tank named Excalibur now, but we actually had nicknamed the T-25-2 the Excalibur long before that tank even came to PC. So the T-25-2 will forever be named the Excalibur in my videos. Obviously, Excalibur is King Arthur's legendary sword, so why not give a subpar tank destroyer the nickname the Excalibur? It just makes sense. Actually, it's very sarcastic, but that's our humor, and we love it, and that will ever be known as Excalibur. So, alright, M6, Struggle Bus, probably a newer player, learning how to play the game, not realizing that he has armor on the front of his tank, but yet his armor is not that reliable. But this is probably not a new player, because obviously when you're dominating in your Excalibur, you have to be a good player. This thing has no armor, the reload is somewhat subpar. Gun handling is amazing, and there it is, he cleans it up. And we pulled down the victory. So even though they had all the advantage, they threw it all away, and the green team prevails. The guys left alive had 13 kills between the 3 of them. I didn't pick up any kills, but I was 3rd in damage on my, no, 4th in damage on my team. My dreadnought beat it. Now, just going to run through these stats real quick. 13.97 horsepower to ton. It's got a 46 kilometer top speed. 10 kilometer reverse speed is why I can't rotate very fast when I was reversing there. 2.3 second aim time. Let's see, 8 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty solid. Rotation speed, 22 degrees per second. That's kind of heavy-ish. The rotation speed of the turret's 22 degrees. You guys seen that when the T-29 was flanking around me. Signal range is 710 meters on the radio. That's excellent. And then these shells are kind of derpy at 470 meters per second velocity. And just looking at the armor profile, you can see all the spaced armor that's added on here. And it's not like a ton, but it definitely is going to help you like with low tier HE. You'll get some bounces off of the front of your turret. Yeah, that's those 2 tanks. And then there's also another one, tier 8 Swedish medium tank that just got put in, and I will make a video on that. Not sure when. I kind of want to make sure I have it and get a good game for you guys to feature that one, because I'm really excited about that tank. But I'll quit babbling. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.